What does it actually mean to be average nowadays? To be an average man in a world where everything is connected and we have social media, we have dating apps. What does it really mean to be an average man? Considering that the average man is not respected or even seen by average women. Make that make sense. The average woman looks down upon the average man. Being an average guy is no longer just being a normal dude. It's seen as a negative, whereas normally the average of something is just the middle, the average. It's a good thing. Average is actually good. Below average is considered subpar. Above average is considered better or elite. But the average has always been good, but not today. Today, the average is looked down upon, not just by women, but by average women and by society as a whole. So I want to talk about what does it actually mean to be average as a man. And why am I bringing this up today on Friday Field Notes? Because I had a long conversation with a good friend of mine yesterday. If you're watching, P, thanks for all your support on the channel here. I really do appreciate it. We were having a conversation about how today the average man is viewed nowadays as a non-human. But we broke it down. And we started noticing that it's really just an online thing. Because in the real world, being average is actually a good thing. And I am here to tell you that being average, really average height, average income, average communication skills, average in every way, shape, and form is actually fine. It's something to be proud of, actually. Especially when you consider the fact that nowadays, most men are not even putting in the work to become average. They are okay being the bottom of the barrel, but not us here. We understand that average is a goal for a lot of guys. Not everyone's in the middle. The bell curve goes like this for a reason. We have elite men up top. We've got subpar men on the bottom, on the left-hand side, my left. And in the middle, the bell curve is where the majority of the guys are, which is the average. So the average is actually a good thing. It's fine. It's where you want to be. But here's where it gets interesting. Our conversation led us to understand the fact that we are all, for the most part, average, right? But there is a differentiator between regular average dudes and us, the average guys that are actually putting in the work to self-improve on a daily basis. And I keep going back to self-improvement because self-improvement is the way. Guys, it is what's going to differentiate you from the pack. Maybe you're not going to get to that elite level. Maybe you're not going to be above average. But if you're below average or just on the brink of being average, and you can self-improve and become the best version of the average man, you're going to be in a good place because there are a lot of guys who are not even putting in the work. And this conversation actually led me to starting the Average Man Reacts show, AMR, the AMR show. Episode 1 is already up. I'll link it here and in the description below. Episode 2 is coming out this week on, I believe, Tuesday, which is tomorrow evening. And in episode 2, we're going to break down some statistics that are going to absolutely floor you. We're going to talk about the average man, his weight, his income, his ability or inability to communicate, and his ability to attract a beautiful woman. We're going to talk about it in detail, so don't miss that episode. In the meantime, watch episode 1. In episode 1, we talk about female entitlement and how we as men are actually the ones to blame for female entitlement. I encourage you to go watch that. So in today's Friday Field Notes, of course, I can't get into too much detail, but please understand that being average for some of us is fine. That's where we need to be. That's what we are. Okay? But for some of you, you're below average. And you need to put in the work. That's what this channel is for. I encourage you to subscribe so that you can get your nutrition on point. That's one. Get your fitness on point, your physical health, and you want to get your mindset right. Okay? I have a lot of resources for all three, so check them out in the description if you want to get started on that. Okay? And while we're on this topic, I want to talk about the average man on dating apps. And this is actually a very important point that we have not discussed on this channel. And this is something that happened to me actually today. So I wanted to bring it up immediately so that you guys can learn from this strategy, I guess you can call it. But if you're a busy man and you're putting in the work and you're obviously bringing in money through a business or a professional career or job, you're a busy person and you're also doing self-improvement. You're going to the gym, you're making sure that your health is on point, your nutrition, you're working on your mindset, you're reading books. You don't have time to waste. It's the reality, but we are men and we do want to date. So let me tell you what happened. So I actually scheduled a coffee date for today. And the way that I approach these coffee dates from the dating app specifically is that I always make sure that I line them up within my time slots for my work or whatever it is that I'm doing. So I never go out of my way. Never. I highly recommend never go out of your way, because a lot of women will postpone, cancel, flake, whatever it is. They will. Okay? It's a numbers game when it comes to meeting up in person. All right, that's why it's important for you to gauge the interaction via text or maybe even on a phone call, which I highly recommend you do. Get on a phone call before you meet up in person. But if you can't, and she's eager to meet with you or you're eager to meet with her and you schedule a coffee date or a walk, a lunch, whatever it is, never, ever postpone or delay any of the important things that you have in your life. Your work, your family, your health, whatever it is. Never. What you want to do is schedule the dates, coffee date, whatever it is, schedule it within your existing time slots in locations that are congruent to what you're doing that day. For example, I had 2 meetings, one in downtown Miami, and then I had another one in Miami Beach. So I made sure to schedule a coffee date with a young lady on Miami Beach in between those 2 meetings. I gave myself about 30 to 45 minutes, and I made sure to confirm before I even left my first meeting. And what happened is, this particular young lady, I'm not going to say her name obviously, but she was working from home and was on a call. We had agreed upon a certain time, and when that time came around, she told me that she was still on the call and had a few more minutes to go. And since this date was scheduled, I scheduled it in a way where it was in between meetings, I unfortunately could not wait. And that's the way you want to structure these. It gives you the upper hand and it doesn't affect your day-to-day life. Okay, this is a complete stranger. Yes, she was very good looking, but still, yet a stranger. So you can't accommodate a stranger. You just cannot. All right. So what I did is I just let her know that I unfortunately could not wait and I had to go. So I just, I'm probably going to reach out to her another day. If she's in the area, great. If she's not, no biggie. So I wanted to share that with you because a lot of guys get a match on the dating app. They go back and forth with messaging on the app. Maybe they get the number, maybe they text, and then they schedule a date and they plan their whole week around it. Don't want to do that. You do not want to do that because you're going to be let down once in a while. Depends how often you go out on these dates. But like I said, she was very good looking and I am willing to try again for that reason and that reason only. So that's that. I also want to talk briefly about the earthquakes in Venezuela. I am actually Venezuelan, so it hits home. We actually went yesterday to drop off supplies, food, diapers at a location here in Doral, Florida, so they can ship over to the people that are in need. What's happening over there is absolutely insane. I hope that everyone's family is okay. Let me know in the comments. Fortunately, my family is all fine, and for the most part, everybody that we know is fine. Yes, there has been some property loss, but that's something that can be rebuilt. Life is way more important than property. So my condolences to anybody who's lost anybody in the earthquakes. All right. On a lighter note, guys, I am going to be traveling very, very soon to Colombia. So if any of you guys are out there, let me know. I'd love to link up We're going to be linking up there with a couple of guys from the Time to Grow program, which is my program. We've got one guy from Panama who's been in the program since the beginning. He's going to be meeting up with us there, and I've got a few family members who happen to be in my community. They're also going to be there, so that's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun. We'll probably go out for lunch or dinner and just chat away and catch up with each other. So if you're in Colombia in July, just let me know in the comments or DM me on Instagram or send me an email. Actually, send me an email. My email is in the description of this video and in the description of the channel. Oh yeah, and also while I'm in Colombia, I'm gonna do a video about passport bros, because they've really kind of ruined things for everyone else in Colombia. But the way that I travel is a little bit different. I want to talk about that once I'm there on that video, and then I also want to talk about how to travel and still date without pay to play, right? You know, you've heard that term, pay to play. I don't do pay to play, but in these countries like Colombia and Thailand, etc., it's the norm. So how do you navigate the regular dating market while you're there? Or how do you approach that, right? Because there's so many guys who go out there to satisfy that lust that they have, and then maybe they can't really satisfy here in the US or in Europe. And they go to these countries to satisfy those desires, those needs, those urges, and they don't want to do the pay to play, right? They want to do it the old-fashioned way, the natural way. We're going to talk about that while we're in Colombia. That's going to be a good video. I'm going to see if I can possibly record and publish from there. If not, I'll record and edit when I get back, and then we'll put it on the channel once I'm back in Miami. All right, so I think that's it for today. Thank you guys. Another Friday Field Notes. This one is actually a little bit delayed because I'm still trying to catch up with work from my other business. I've got some other job offers that are coming in. I'm trying to figure out what is the next step for my other business. And of course, now that I'm committed to the AMR, the Average Man Reacts show on a weekly, that's actually a longer video, which I actually have to outline and all that good stuff. I've got the preliminary outline for the episode that I'm going to record tonight here. So that's really taking a lot of my time. But thank you guys. Appreciate it. Remember to subscribe, like, comment, and share. It really does help if you watch the video till the end. So that's actually very important. And I do appreciate you guys. Let me know in the comments, what are your thoughts on this whole average guy conversation? Can you be happy as an average guy? Is it enough in today's world? Is it enough to be an average guy? Let me know in the comments. Peace.